Tonight, looking for allies, Bourassa comes to Saskatchewan. Disabled bus riders say Regina is ripping them off. And a tale of two cities, Regina versus Saskatoon.
CBC NewsHour with Holly Preston and Costa Marigas.
Good evening. He's been traveling across Western Canada looking for common ground in the constitutional crisis. And today, Quebec Premier Robert Bourassa met Premier Romano in Regina, where he found a sympathetic ear. Alethea Foster has this report.
Bonjour, Monsieur Premier. Bienvenue à Saskatchewan.
Robert Bourassa was in Regina today looking for an ally, and he thinks he's found one in Premier Roy Romano. Romano was a key player in the constitutional talks 10 years ago. Bourassa feels he can be a key player now, too.
Mr. Romano wants to solve the question so we could go back fully to economic question. He has serious problems economically and financially in this problem. He just made a speech about that a few days ago. And he would like to solve that question so there will be more, it will be easier to concentrate action on economic and financial questions.
Bourassa is giving all indications he's ready to go back to the constitutional table. If there's a guarantee, Quebec will get what it wants. So far, that's not a sure bet. Quebec and Alberta disagree over Senate reform. The meeting with Romano seemed more conciliatory. Romano says he agrees with a lot of what Quebec says, but he says you need to negotiate and see the fine print before you make a final commitment.
Much of the concerns of Quebec with respect to civil society and the issues of spending power, we do not find a major stumbling block. But I repeat that I can't be in the position and won't be in the position, and Premier Bourassa won't be himself in a position, in agreeing to any one item unless everything is there. In other words, you agree to everything or you agree to nothing.
For his part, Bourassa says he's pleased with his Western tour. He says he was optimistic starting out, and he still is.
The level of misunderstanding we had maybe 6 months or a year ago has been substantially reduced. And the will to keep Quebec within Canada, to protect the future of Canada with all the provinces, that will seems to me also stronger.
Despite his optimism, it's difficult to say if and when Quebec may go back to the constitutional table. Bourassa says returning without first resolving Senate reform would be just too risky. There'd be no guarantee that the talks would succeed. Alethea Foster, CBC News, Regina.
Members of Saskatchewan's French community were looking forward to Premier Bourassa's visit. For them, it was a chance to ask for Bourassa's help in their struggle for more power. Art Jones reports.
A small group of Franc-Saskois was among the crowd greeting Premier Bourassa at the legislature. For them, his arrival had a special meaning.
I think that the Franc-Saskois have felt a little bit left behind. They're kind of lost in the middle. Like there's all the talk about the Québécois and everyone outside of Quebec, all the French-speaking people outside of Quebec are kind of left behind, and I think they're a little afraid that if Quebec leaves, well, then their culture will be gone too. So I think it's really important for them as well.
Saskatchewan's French population is small, about 30,000, but they're vocal. They say they need to protect their culture, and to do that, they want several things. Guarantees that Canada will remain a bilingual country, more protection for minorities, control of French schools, and a strong central government.
We're currently being faced with a high rate of assimilation with respect to the Franc-Saskois community. And this is what we would hope to curtail in order for the Franc-Saskois community to thrive and be a full part of Saskatchewan citizenship.
The Franc-Saskois have also asked for a place on Saskatchewan's constitutional bargaining team. The government says it's too early.
But we did discuss that question with them, and as the constitutional process evolves, we hope to make room for a representation from groups such as theirs.
So far, Bourassa hasn't said what his position is.
I will meet him at 5 o'clock, but I'm meeting the Premier now. We're going straight through there. I suppose we will be available after, either my colleague or myself.
The last time Bourassa was in Saskatchewan was in 1988.
At that time, he told Saskatchewan's French community that he wasn't about to get involved in the internal affairs of any other province. This trip to the West has produced some interesting changes in that position. He told Alberta's Premier that there should be some movement on language rights and French control of schools. Art Jones, CBC News, Regina.
More to come on CBC NewsHour. Jeff Bohatch driving around Saskatchewan on Prairie Portraits.
Some people in Regina say the city is ripping off a school for handicapped students. In December, the city took over a handicapped bus service from a non-profit group. As Donna Pachesnik reports, the school says the service hasn't changed, but the price certainly has.
Once a week, Jean Vanier School charters a city bus to take its students swimming. All of the kids are handicapped. The ride used to cost about $53 when the Saskatchewan Abilities Council provided the service. But in December, the city took over. It uses the same buses, the same drivers, but it's charging the school almost 4 times as much. That price is scheduled to almost double next month again.
A 600% increase is a lot. And when kids depend on this, not for enjoyment and not for rec, which they get enjoyment of rec, but they depend on it for therapeutic swim, and they're tiny little multi-handicapped kids that really need to get out there and enjoy and get into the water and enjoy that weekly swim. I just find that it's a big increase is just too much.
The man in charge of Regina's transit system says the school is being charged the going rate for charter bus service.
While they were doing it before for a very cheap price, we can't continue to afford that. And we have to draw a distinction between using the system that's available to the general public and using a system that's a charter service for your exclusive needs. And that's the basic difference that's happened.
Trips like this are on the line if the prices don't drop. The school board says it's trapped.
If there were other companies that transport physically challenged children, then we would probably be also looking there. But at this particular time, we're tied into the city transportation for this, and that's where we'll remain at this time at least.
The city says with more seniors and disabled people using special needs buses, it's looking at other forms of transportation, such as taxis and small vans. It says it's like anything else. The more people who use the service, the less it'll cost per person. Donna Pachesnik, CBC News, Regina.
A Regina grandmother says she is being penalized by social services for trying to keep her family together. She feels because of her circumstances, she should receive more money as a foster parent. Carmen Smith explains.
Audrey Cochran hasn't missed a day of work in 18 years. The 60-year-old grandmother raised 5 children on her own while working full-time. She thought the tough times were over when her children left home. But today, it's even tougher. She's raising another 5 kids.
When I get out of here, I get so tired, and I go home and go and have a rest right away and start my supper for the children.
Cochran has become mom to 5 grandchildren. One of her daughters dropped the children off for the weekend. That was a year and a half ago. She hasn't seen her since. And if Cochran doesn't keep the children, social services will split them up and send them to foster homes.
Would you like to go in a foster home? No. Eh? No. They don't know.
Cochran brings home about $1,800 a month from work and welfare payments. That means for the first time in her life, she relies on the food bank.
I try to be careful just so as I'll have enough money for every week, but it ends up sometimes it's just gone.
Cochran wants social services to pay her the same as foster parents. She gets $400 a month from welfare. If she can't keep the children, social services will have to pay a foster parent 3 times that much.
It seemed like she was penalized for wanting to keep her grandchildren because she only qualifies for welfare assistance rates.
Social Services says relatives can't be foster parents. That would lead to too much abuse.
But we'll review the case and get back to her. And that's about all I could say.
Machin says Social Services wants to keep families together.
You be careful with Mickey.
But that sounds a little odd to Cochrane. She's worried when she finally can't make ends meet, the department will give her grandchildren to someone else.
I wouldn't want to let them go. I'd get sick, I think, if they were to be taken away from me.
Carmen Smith, CBC News, Regina.
It is hot out there. I'm suspicious that maybe another record or two has fallen. Let's go now to Bryce, who has the details, no doubt. Hello, Bryce.
Yes, I do. We did have another record set in Regina and several other places around the province today, up to 33 degrees. But that's coming to an end. That warm air mass is moving off to the southeast to be replaced by some cooler air and some showers for the next several days. And I'll have more later in our CBC News Hour.
Imagine how we can cope when it drops down to, say, 25, you know, or
Won't
24
it seem
degrees.
cool? Some people are complaining about the heat already, and they'll
it
welcome
happens.
that. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Stay with us. Still ahead on CBC News Hour, the treatment of glaucoma on house calls.
And when we return, a warning from hospital therapists in Saskatoon.
They'll end up having to stay longer because they're not ready for discharge.
Next time you get dressed, try on something see-through. Introducing Crystal Clean, odor protection that glides on invisibly fresh, invisibly clean. New Crystal Clean, odor protection never looked so clean.
Come into Beaver Lumber and find out how our lowest price guarantee will save you money. It's your guarantee we won't be undersold on all advertised specials.
Enjoy great outdoor living in the privacy of your own backyard with a deck or fence from Beaver Lumber. You'll find everything you need to do it right, from long-lasting pressure-treated lumber to hardware and helpful information. Ask about our complete deck and fence packages.
Low prices and the right advice. Beaver Lumber, cutting the cost of home improvement.
Interested in that Toyota Camry? Yeah. Then let's drive a deal. Is that 4x4 for you? Sure is. Let's drive a deal. Okay. Right now, Toyota dealers are saying, let's drive a deal. Factory to dealer incentives are opening the doors to savings of up to $1,500 on options, or to savings on Toyota's Extra Care Mechanical Protection Plan, or on this door to the Corolla LSX Select, loaded with over $2,100 of extra value, including air. Hurry to your Toyota dealer and let's drive a deal.
Next time you get dressed, try on something see-through. Introducing Crystal Clean, odor protection that glides on invisibly fresh, invisibly clean. New Crystal Clean, odor protection never looked so clean.
Therapists at hospitals in Saskatoon say therapy services in the city are in jeopardy. They are among the areas being considered for budget cuts by the Saskatoon Health Board. As Jerry Jones reports, the cuts could mean longer stays in hospital.
87-year-old Clifford Kreller has a serious lung problem. He spends a lot of time in hospital. When he is home, he's hooked up to an oxygen machine.
I thought maybe it was that machine, but
Right now, he gets a visit from a physiotherapist 5 days a week.
Let's go into the bedroom and do your treatment.
oh, I can't get along without it.
The Saskatoon Health Board is looking at ways to save money because of government budget cuts. Physiotherapists say they're already understaffed and they're threatened by cuts.
The therapists are just in an uproar about it.
Joanne Walker says therapy services have been underfunded for years. She says cuts would hit patients hard.
If you cut the therapies in the hospital, they'll end up having to stay longer because they're not ready for discharge.
Oh, I know. I'd rather be home.
It makes you feel mad, very mad. And it makes you feel like the government's doing you dirt instead of trying to help you.
The Health Board won't comment on whether there will be cuts to hospital therapy services. That's still being examined. Jerry Jones, CBC News, Saskatoon.
12 people who worked as managers in hospitals in Regina have been told their services are no longer needed. They were given notice Monday and told it took effect immediately. 8 were at the Regina General, 2 at the Plains and 2 at the Pasqua. They were all managers or assistant managers of departments such as radiology. 16 vacant positions were also eliminated.
In other news, in Corsica, 26 people are dead after the collapse of a spectator stand at a soccer game. More than 700 people were injured, 70 of them critically. Witnesses say the temporary stand was swaying and shaking long before the accident. In Bosnia-Herzegovina, UN Special Envoy Merrick Goulding came under sniper fire in the capital city, Sarajevo. Goulding was touring the city to see if a UN peacekeeping force should be sent in. Later, the warring Serbs and Muslims exchanged prisoners. And Marlene Dietrich has died. The legendary star of stage and screen died today in Paris. She was 90 years old.
Later on the program, a unique look at Saskatchewan's ballooning deficit.
We're back right after this.
Hi, I'm Billy Wasylenchuk. Bryce Eckstein has the weather next on CBC NewsHour.
A work of art is the personal goal of skilled hands. At Works of Art Furniture, quality and craftsmanship are ingrained into every piece of furniture they create. Contemporary styling, traditional quality, and affordable pricing. Works of Art Furniture, crafting tomorrow's heirlooms today. Works of Art Furniture are designers and builders of quality Saskatchewan-made solid wood furniture. Works of Art, 1118 Broad Street, Regina.
We'd like to tell you about the Air Miles Travel Reward Program. When you use selected services at Bank of Montreal, shop as a Sears Club member, rent a car or truck from Tilden Interrent, or move with United Van Lines. Companies like these thank you with travel miles. Collect enough and you're flying free. It's that simple. Air Miles. Shop like always, fly like never before.
Dad, look, we got a crack on the windshield.
Problem. Speedy Auto Glass. It's about you and your auto glass. Hey, you're not my kids. You know what they could do? Foreign is they could take this whole windshield and they will replace it. Domestic. Because they're trained professionals. Do you have any trained professionals? Ooh. Oh, you don't? Untrained professionals? Hey, what do we do with that windshield? Let's put it in the trunk. They handle the insurance claim. What are you waiting for? Pick up the phone and call Speedy Auto Glass.
May 10th is your chance to say thank you, and I think of you often, and I love you. May 10th is Mother's Day. Express all those special feelings for your mom with fresh, beautiful flowers from Unique Florists. It's so easy to send one of our delightful floral arrangements to your mom. Just call 789-1010 for delivery, anywhere. If you wish to visit Unique Garden Center and choose a special plant as a gift, we're open 7 days a week, including Mother's Day. Tell Mom she's special with beautiful flowers and plants from Unique.
We'd like to welcome you back. Let's move on now to the weather, and why not? Everyone loves to talk about the weather when it's a day like today, and Bryce Eckstein is outdoors. Bryce, we broke some temperature records today, and I broke a personal record, the earliest I've ever planted anything in my garden. I put in the potatoes today. Was that a good call?
Good call, but no tomatoes yet.
No, we'll stay away from the tomatoes. But what's going to happen in the weather over the next couple of days? I hear there might be a change.
Yes, there's a trend to cooler air. That warm, dry air mass is moving off to the southeast, and it's going to be replaced by much cooler air. We're almost double our normal high. Normal high is 16 for this time of the year. And we're going to get some showers with this transition as well. Nothing substantial, but we are going to get some moisture over the next 72 hours. In Regina at the moment, 31, down from 33, northwest at 20. And you can feel it cooling off nicely. Sunny in Moose Jaw on 31, the winds are west at 10. And Saskatoon reporting 26 degrees under sunny skies, the winds are north at 15. At Uranium City at 8, La Ronge 18, 22 at Meadow Lake. The Battleford's at 24. And Prince Albert at 25, 27 at Kindersley Swift Current, 28, and Weyburn also sharing the hot spot in the province and in Canada at 33 degrees. There's the satellite shot taken earlier this afternoon right from the Ontario-Manitoba border right through to the west coast. Clear skies as that high is dominating. There's a little cloud to the north, and that's going to sink southward and provide the transition to the cooler air and the moisture that we can expect a little later on. Before we go along to the forecasts, let's take a look at the national temperature situation. Resolute Bay, the cold spot at -25, and Regina and Weyburn at 33 in Saskatchewan for the hot spot. Now, CBC Frisbee going out to Devin Parker for a nice surfing scene. Thank you, Devin, and watch your mailbox. At CBC Frisbee will arrive shortly. Forecast now for southern Saskatchewan tonight, 10 degrees. That's warm overnight, clear skies, and sunny on Thursday and initially, and then clouding over late in the afternoon. We get some showers in the evening. And then Friday, showers in 20, and cooler still on Saturday in 18 with those showers. Central Saskatchewan, 7 overnight tonight and clear, 20 with cloud building up in the afternoon, maybe a shower or two tomorrow evening. 18 on Friday with cloudy skies and the odd shower, and 18 again on Saturday with cloudy skies and a few showers. Northern Saskatchewan, cloudy with showers overnight and down to 5 degrees, up to 13 tomorrow, the showers and cloudy skies continuing. 17 on Friday, and showers continuing there as well. And Saturday, showers and 17. And the shower activity, as I mentioned, will be intermittent and sporadic. And that's about it, Costa.
Okay, well, I suppose, you know, some people could use some rain later in this week, and it'll be good to have.
A drench. We need a big drench.
Okay, Bryce, thanks.
But could we please have that big drench maybe tomorrow and not on Saturday,
weekend,
Sunday?
sure.
Right. Still to come on CBC NewsHour, cross-border slicing on Prairie Portraits.
Coming up next, who's got the most, Regina or Saskatoon? A special report.
Yeah, just whipping up a little Mother's Day feast here. This housework stuff isn't so hard, really. This week at Canadian Tire's Here Comes the Son of It, you can save on just about any household item that you could put... Oh, time to steam the broccoli.
This is a Rubbermaid seal. Sorry, wrong seal. This is a Rubbermaid seal. This week only, save up to 50% on all Rubbermaid serve and savers and storage boxes during Here Comes the Sun, only at Canadian Tire. With Rubbermaid, you can store just about anything.
Oh, so what's wrong with eating pretzels in bed?
It seems decadent.
Wrong. Nallie's Golden Pretzels are baked, so they're a wholesome, low-fat snack. Here.
Crispy.
And check out the cute twists.
Kinky.
Nallie's, the joy of snacks.
You invited these people?
They're here for the grand opening.
Grand opening?
Of La Restaurante.
Oh, La Restaurante is Nallie's great-tasting, chunky-style salsa.
So open it, Sid.
Nallie's, the joy of snacks.
It's easy to bump up the taste of cereal, right? Take bananas, simple. Strawberries, ditto. Blueberries, hardly rocket science. Nuts, not so fast. Ah, but now there's new Nuts and Crunch from Nabisco. Big, crispy, 4-grain flakes combined with nutty little nuggets with real almonds, pecans, and walnuts. 3 kinds of nuts, 1 truly nutty taste. New Nabisco Nuts and Crunch. Crack open a box.
You've heard about the new Air Miles travel reward program. When you get groceries at Safeway, rent a car or truck from Tilden Interrent, shop as a Sears Club member, or shop with your Bank of Montreal Air Miles MasterCard card, you earn travel miles. Collect enough and you're flying free. It's that simple. Air Miles. Shop like always, fly like never before.
Every year, we ensure the Stanley Cup returns to its rightful place. Your place. The playoffs tonight on CBC. We bring the cup home.
Well, there's always been a rivalry between Saskatoon and Regina. According to the latest census figures, Saskatoon has 20,000 more people than Regina, and it's growing almost twice as fast. Saskatoon has been seen as the more dynamic, progressive community, while Regina has the reputation of being a government town with not much else going for it. But there appears to have been a reversal of fortune. And tonight, we bring you a tale of two cities with Paul Dieterich in Saskatoon and Cheryl Jackson in Regina.
I prefer Saskatoon, by far. It's a newer city, the streets are wide, and you don't have the congestion that you do in Regina, and it's so much cleaner.
Our son used to live here in Saskatoon, and we used to come here quite a bit. And I think it's prettier in Regina.
Oh, we've got a much better auditorium here. We've got a much better Sask Place arena here. And a prettier city, much prettier city. We got a river, we don't have a slough.
I don't really know Regina, and I'm not particularly anxious to learn.
Well, I've often wondered why people think Saskatoon's so great. I love Regina, great place, nice downtown park.
I've lived in Saskatoon for a year and a half, and I think Regina is a more friendly atmosphere to live in.
In Saskatoon, the people aren't as friendly. Like, you go into a store and they're not as nice to you, but in Regina, everyone's more friendly and willing to talk to you.
It seems to have a better downtown area than Saskatoon. It's tough to find downtown in Saskatoon.
Reginans say they like their downtown, Wascana Lake, the legislative building. The same things they've always said. What's changed is how often they say it. Reginans, who have long been known for Regina bashing, now say they like their city, a city that's had the reputation of being nothing but a government town, a stable but boring place to live.
People here in Saskatoon are proud of their riverbank, their university, and their arts community. They'll tell you this is a more independent city than Regina, that they don't have to rely on government to keep their economy going. Saskatoon is a service center for mining and farming, but over the last decade, prices for wheat, potash, and uranium have dropped out of sight.
For quite some time during the 80s, Saskatoon was the fastest growing city in Canada. At that time, Regina was flat or maybe shrinking slightly. And Regina's economy was, I think, seen then as being tied primarily to government activity.
Doug Bicknell's been teaching at the College of Commerce at the University of Saskatchewan for 23 years. He says in that time, things have changed.
Saskatoon has suffered. Being a major supplier for mining and agriculture, when those two have gone down, business has dropped off. We haven't had any major activity of the type that Regina's had.
The Regina housing industry says this is more than major activity. It's a boom. Ken McKinley is with the Saskatchewan Home Builders Association.
Well, we expected the first quarter to be somewhat slow, but to our surprise, the first quarter really took off from local people purchasing their homes.
Why did that happen to you?
Well, I think it's the local people have put off that buying decision, and now they want to get in the market because they feel optimistic with Crown Life coming in and Farm Credit, and they're making their purchasing decision now ahead of these other people coming in.
Every couple of weeks, the estimates of Regina housing starts go up. In January, the city projected 250 houses would be built this year. As of mid-March, that was up to 425. In all of last year, only 161 houses were built. Some companies are even building on spec, hoping to sell the houses after they're built, a risk that isn't taken when times are bad.
Housing starts are also up in Saskatoon over last year, but they're not as high as in Regina. At the end of March, 44 houses had been started in Saskatoon, compared to 93 in Regina. Construction workers and tradespeople are leaving in droves. The construction union has lost 100 members in the last year alone.
In Regina, it's a different story. Tradespeople are staying.
Well, I was going to move out of town because there wasn't a lot of work in Regina here, and then with the way the housing movement started, I decided to stay in town and work for a while and see what happens.
The boom doesn't end in the suburbs. 3 office towers are being built in downtown Regina, and Crown Life will be starting its high-rise in June. Business owners are feeling good. Monica Gross says sales are up 20% since last fall.
The city, with the new buildings going up, they should be completed, I believe, the 1st of July. We're really looking forward to the traffic downtown. The streets are being cleaned up for spring. The Scars Street Mall is being re-enhanced, so we're really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be busy.
It's been a long time since a crane has towered over Saskatoon's skyline. These days, the most noticeable feature downtown is all the office space that sits empty and the businesses that have shut down. Small business owners are less than optimistic.
Broke, frustrated, and angry.
Terry Tyler owns a hair salon in downtown Saskatoon. She says the city has to start doing what Regina is doing, attract new businesses, bring in jobs, and create some economic optimism.
They take every opportunity they can to let people know they're coming, and so it's been sold and packaged really well. And Saskatoon doesn't seem to sell and package their thing, the advantages that we do have and the businesses that we do have come.
It may not look like it late on a Friday afternoon, but this is one of the busiest employment centers in the country. In March, Saskatoon's unemployment rate was 10.5%, almost 3 points higher than Regina's. That means 2,000 more people are out of work in Saskatoon than in Regina. How badly does Saskatoon need an influx of jobs?
Well, quite badly. If, for instance, you have a Promavia or a Saskatoon Heavy Industries, if indeed they go and it does create the number of jobs that they're talking about, that's going to make quite an impact.
But the projects Wayhill is talking about are not sure things, and until they are, people in Saskatoon continue to sit and wait for jobs.
I love this one.
In Regina, there may be more jobs, but they're not all secure. Shoe store owner Jim Doan says that affects business.
Lots of civil servants aren't feeling positive about their jobs, particularly in Regina when maybe both people in a household work for the province is afraid that maybe one of them might lose their income. So consumer confidence really hasn't buoyed because government is still the biggest employer in the town.
Even so, the chairman of Regina's Economic Development Authority, Gord Staceyson, says the economy is much more promising than it was last fall, when the former government announced it was moving hundreds of civil service jobs out of Regina.
We had this pall of gloom hanging over the city a year ago because of the concern about decentralization. This community, the city of Regina, was really suffering economically anyway, and the added problem of decentralization of civil servants was created a very negative attitude within the business community. That has completely changed now.
Changed, he says, because Fair Share was canceled when the NDP took power in October, and because two major corporations are moving to Regina from Ontario. Crown Life and the Farm Credit Corporation are bringing more than 1,200 jobs to the city and a payroll of about $60 million a year. The province gave Crown Life a loan guarantee for $250 million.
I guess there's maybe an optimistic attitude in the city.
Del Reimer is with Regina's Chamber of Commerce.
We need to rely, I think, on more of the people rather than the governments to make the economy roll. I think for so long we've relied on the governments, both city, federal, provincial, and I think it's time we personally take it and make it happen and quit relying on the government quite as much.
Okay, do you think there's a feeling, though, that the province is playing favorites?
I don't think so, no.
You don't see
no,
that?
Between the two cities?
Yes.
I don't think so, no.
But some people in Saskatoon do feel there's favoritism when it comes to government-assisted projects. It's been well over a year since Belgian aircraft maker Promavia announced it would hire 300 people to build jet trainers in Saskatoon. So far, not one aircraft has rolled off the assembly line. In fact, there's still no assembly line. People in Saskatoon are beginning to call the company Promavia.
There's a problem with a long lead time. It was talked about, and still things as yet have not come together.
The provincial government promised Promavia $20 million in cash and loan guarantees, but the company still has to raise $26 million on its own. So far, the project hasn't gotten off the ground.
we need to see a project, one or two projects of the size like that hit the books in Saskatoon to get people's attitudes just a little bit better. A lot of people are taking a wait and see and prove it to me type attitude.
Kim Miller has only been Saskatoon's Chamber of Commerce president for a few weeks. But in that time, he's seen the Promavia project stall and a $50 million research deal with Atomic Energy of Canada go no further than the drawing board. That deal would have created 170 jobs and a whole new industry for Saskatoon.
People couldn't believe it, that with the dire straits that we're in right now, that we would let an opportunity like that slip through our hands without at least giving it a chance, without doing the study. So there is, without question, there is a feeling of despair and desperation.
Saskatoon has been promised an institute for energy development. It'll likely go here in the city's high-tech park. But no one really knows what it will be, how big it will be, or even when it will be. Some people are calling it a consolation prize from the province for canceling the AECL deal.
It's not a replacement for the AECL deal in any fashion.
Russell Marcoux runs a trucking company in Saskatoon. He says Regina is miles ahead when it comes to attracting business. He credits Regina's Economic Development Authority.
Gord Stasison, who he's out promoting that city, and you can just tell the way he talks about that city that he's truly believes what he's talking about, and it's like he's selling a product. And obviously he's had some success. I assume he's played a role in the Crown Life and the FCC and some of the other opportunities that have landed there. And you don't see the same sort of thing in Saskatoon.
Regina, during the 80s, lost its entrepreneurial spirit and became a city that was somewhat apathetic. It was a civil service city, not aggressive, and we became complacent.
So the city created an independent economic development authority. It put pressure on Crown Life and FCC to move to Regina and is doing the same with other companies it won't yet name.
Regina's aggressiveness is forcing Saskatoon to play catch-up.
Well, that's exactly what we're doing. I think we're hoping that we'll see in the next month or two City Council pass the final approval for an economic development authority to get off the ground. And I firmly believe that once we have that body in place, we'll be able to use it to our mutual benefit in Saskatoon.
Until now, Saskatoon has only had an economic development office, basically a department within City Hall. Business people say that's not nearly as effective as a separate authority would be, and they want one in place quickly because they say there's another project waiting in the wings and they don't want Saskatoon losing out again.
That project is Piper. If the aircraft manufacturer does come to Saskatchewan, there will no doubt be a showdown. Regina and Saskatoon, as well as other centres, want Piper in their city. It would bring as many as 500 jobs and lots of spin-off manufacturing.
I hope it comes to Regina, and we are now aggressively positioning ourselves so that we can put forward a strong bid if and when it does come to Saskatchewan.
The authority has set up a community bond and is asking 4,000 businesses to contribute. It hopes to raise $5 million.
If Piper comes to Saskatchewan, well, let's assume Piper comes to Saskatchewan. Who's going to get it?
Haha, Saskatoon, of course. We're there's a good body of people right now that's putting forward a project and a proposal to the government of Saskatchewan. I guess first of all, we have to make sure we get it in Saskatchewan.
There is a feeling in this city that if Piper does land in Saskatchewan, Saskatoon should get first dibs on it.
If the government is going to keep trying to push economic development, that it's Saskatoon's turn, then it has to look seriously at the problems of both of its major centers.
Wherever Piper ends up, it's not likely to make or break the local economy.
But it will provide a boost, just like Crown Life and FCC will do in Regina, and Promavia still may do in Saskatoon.
But most business people agree the economic rivalry between Regina and Saskatoon only goes so far.
They say that the province's economy as a whole should be the first priority, and that what's good for Regina or Saskatoon is good for Saskatchewan. For CBC News, I'm Paul Diederich in Saskatoon.
And I'm Cheryl Jackson in Regina.
And as we all know, they are both good cities to live in.
Yeah, sure. But I can imagine the pressure that's going to be on the provincial government coming from Saskatoon to start steering some of those economic incentive programs back to their city. It's going to be quite a showdown over Piper.
Particularly with the Premier Romano from Saskatoon. Sure. All right. Still to come, Canada knocked out of the World Hockey Tournament.
Coming up next, Saskatchewan's ballooning budget woes.
There's a place in your heart like no other place, where nature is blessed with wonder and grace. Manitoba's a place that you loved at first sight, as fresh and unspoiled as it was at first light. Manitoba, a place in your heart.
Meet Gregory, a very active 5-year-old. He is the proud owner of artificial legs designed for swimming, thanks to donations to the War Amps Champ program. As Gregory grows up, Champ will be there to meet his special needs, replacing his artificial limbs as he gets bigger, counseling, and the chance to meet other amputees his own age. The War Amps, making the system work for child amputees.
Revelstoke announces the 60-second paint matching system. Just bring us a sample and we'll create a color to match it. We can match any tile, any fabric, any wallpaper, any flower, any shoe, anything. It's all done with our optical computer and Bear Premium Plus, the paint that's been specially formulated for computer color matching. The 60-second paint matching system, now at Revelstoke.
Nature's song echoes through this land, where today looks like yesterday and feels like forever.
Denture wearers, here's Jane Powell for Polident.
One thing I learned growing up in Hollywood is how important it is to always look your best. Which is why if you wear dentures, you should always use Super Strength Polident. Super Strength Polident soaks away the toughest stains to leave your dentures super clean. And its minty mouthwash ingredient, leaves them minty fresh, too. So put your best smile forward with Super Strength Polident. It leaves your dentures minty fresh clean.
The NDP government will bring in its first budget tomorrow, a budget many expect will be the toughest in decades. The government has worked for months to explain it doesn't have a choice. As Nancy Rose reports, it's because of the ballooning deficit.
Do you guys want to see this really, really big balloon? Yeah!
The balloon and the provincial deficit have a lot in common. They both keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The deficit balloon was only $227 million in 1982. But by 1985, it had been inflated to $1.5 billion. By 1991, it had expanded to $5.2 billion. And by 1992, it had blown up to $13.8 billion.
It's getting big, isn't it?
The interest alone, repayment of any principal, would cost them $700 per man, woman, and child. That's almost $3,000 for a family of 4.
Just a short time ago, it seemed fairly simple to keep the balloon from growing larger.
Find the money elsewhere by cutting out the waste in your government.
Let it go up again.
But the balloon kept inflating.
The current year's budget deficit, forecast to be at $265 million, is now expected to be hundreds of millions of dollars higher.
And the fear was, if the balloon didn't stop growing, that it would cost so much to pay for such a big balloon that there would not be enough money left to educate these children and to keep them healthy.
You are unable to borrow any money. That means you close hospitals and schools. You do not repair roads. If a road becomes dangerous, you simply block it off and close it. You simply stop providing public services.
CBC NewsHour has learned that the NDP has secretly voted to introduce the premiums in the next budget.
The NDP was forced to consider drastic measures, unpopular measures. The news leak about healthcare premiums caused such opposition that the NDP is now expected to drop it from the budget. Instead, this budget is expected to include a sales tax increase of 1%, personal income tax increases, and layoffs of government employees. But even that won't be enough to keep the balloon from growing by an expected amount of more than $300 million. It's much easier and less painful to grant these children their wish than it will be for the NDP and the Saskatchewan taxpayers. Nancy Rose, CBC News, Regina.
Time now for our regular feature, Prairie Portraits. Now, this is where Jeff Bohatch is supposed to be on the road bringing us stories from around Saskatchewan, but there are times when we really don't know what he's doing. He tells us he's working hard. Well, let's just see about that.
You know, people are always telling me, Jeff, you've got a great job. But it's not all fun and games, you know, traveling around Saskatchewan, searching for strange and unusual stories. Spending all those hours on the road can be pretty grueling. Well, here we go again. I'm just going to get my gear. Away we go on another story. Today I'm near North Portal, Saskatchewan, which is just south of Estevan, right near the U.S. border, doing yet another demanding story, 5-iron cap. Thanks. Oh, hey. Sorry about I didn't hit you or anything, did I?
No, no.
Okay.
No.
Oh, hey, what's this sign here?
Oh, that's the international hole for the golf club.
International hole?
Right.
What's that?
Well, the tee box is number 9 on the Canadian side.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 30 yards of the hole are on the U.S. side.
Was that right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to hit it right over the border into another country.
That is right. And the difference in time between Saskatchewan and North Dakota, for instance, if you hit a ball here at 2 o'clock, it would actually end up near the green, hopefully on the green, 1 hour and say 2 or 3 seconds later.
Is that right? So the ball would be, it takes an hour to get over there.
That's in essence, yes.
Wow. So you don't have to go through customs or anything like that on the way over, do you?
No, that's, you're only going the 30 yards.
Because if you did, they'd probably take my clubs from me.
You're just going to 30 yards, and as long as that's as far as you're going, they allow us to let people go over there and play the hole and then come back.
Oh, real good. Well, maybe I'll give it a try now. What do you think?
Sure, you betcha.
Maybe I'll get a hole in one.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
We'll record it if you do.
Put that one in Mexico, I think. Why don't you come help me find it?
Okay, sure.
Anyway, where'd it go?
Yeah.
Here's somewhere. It's got to be. I'm going to lose my ball in another country.
Wow, it certainly looks like you've lost your golf ball in another country.
Look at that. I hit it into the next country and I lost it.
Right.
Perfect. Oh, well, what do we do now?
Well, we could adjourn to the 10th hole.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, so this is the 10th hole, eh?
Yes, it is.
Well, here's to you.
You bet. You're not the greatest golfer, Jeff, but you really do have a great job.
Well, thanks. That's what everybody says.
Tonight on House Calls, Dr. Bill Elliott joins us to talk about the second leading cause of blindness in North America. Hello, Dr. Elliott.
Hello, Holly.
Nice to have you here again. What is it that causes so much blindness?
It's a disease called glaucoma. It's something that everyone knows the term, but most people don't know what it really involves.
Help us understand it. What is it?
I think if you understand the basic anatomy of the eye, that sounds complex, but if you think of your eye as being a sphere, a round globe filled with fluid, light comes in the front of your eye and is focused on the back of the eye, and the impulses travel down a nerve to the brain. Inside the eye, it's filled with fluid, and it's an imbalance between the amount of fluid that's made for the eye and the flow of the fluid out of the eye that causes glaucoma.
And this can cause blindness?
It can. What happens is when the fluid that flows out of the eye is obstructed, the production of the fluid continues and the pressure begins to build up in the eye. It can be a very slight difference in pressure, but over a period of time it will start to damage the nerve at the back of the eye.
How common is this?
It occurs in about 2% of the population over the age of 40.
And who gets it then? Only people over 40?
It can happen congenitally or in children, but the vast majority of cases occur in people as they age.
How do you know if you're getting it?
It's a very simple diagnostic test that almost all doctors, optometrists, and ophthalmologists will do. It involves going to your doctor's office and having the pressure measured in your eye. An instrument's placed on the surface of the eye which tells you whether the pressure is increasing. If it's increased, it will give you some of the first signs of glaucoma starting.
Do you have any signs yourself? Would I be aware of it if I was getting it?
That's the unfortunate part, is it's a great screening test because it's an illness that oftentimes, until it starts to have visual loss, it gives you no signs at all.
So a lot of people don't have it detected early enough then?
That's exactly correct.
Is it routinely checked by eye specialists?
It certainly is, and it's a very simple test. It takes very little time in the doctor's office, and it's very treatable.
Oh, good. Let's hear about that. What do you do if you've got it?
Well, what you're trying to do is decrease the pressure in the eye, and you can decrease that by increasing the rate that the fluid flows out of the eye or decreasing the rate that the fluid's produced, and you can do this by using eye drops or medicines. Some cases don't respond very well to that sort of treatment. Surgery, both conventionally and with laser treatment, can be used.
Okay, so people, particularly those over 40, should ask for this test and be checked for it.
Exactly. It'll save your vision, and it'll save you and serve you well.
Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you.
And still ahead, Matt Dunnigan finds a new team.
And when we return, a big disappointment for the Saskatoon Blades. We'll talk to the coach.
Oh, there's Granddad.
How's Dad been doing?
Just fine. This week he was at Joanne's recital. And Sam's Boy Scout meeting. And last night, he was out with Agnes Newcastle.
Agnes Newcastle?
Long time no see, Harry.
Dad, you've got a Medichair.
Interested in that Toyota Camry?
Yeah.
Then let's drive a deal. Is that 4x4 for you?
Sure is.
Let's drive a deal.
Okay.
Right now, Toyota dealers are saying, let's drive a deal. Factory to dealer incentives are opening the doors to savings of up to $1,500 on options, or to savings on Toyota's Extra Care Mechanical Protection Plan, or on this door to the Corolla LSX Select, loaded with over $2,100 of extra value, including air. Hurry to your Toyota dealer and let's drive a deal.
Yeah, just whipping up a little Mother's Day feast here. This housework stuff isn't so hard, really. This week at Canadian Tire's Here Comes the Son of It, you can save on just about any household item that you could put... Oh, time to steam the broccoli.
This is a Rubbermaid seal. Sorry, wrong seal. This is a Rubbermaid seal. This week only, save up to 50% on all Rubbermaid Serve and Savers and storage boxes during Here Comes the Sun, only at Canadian Tire. With Rubbermaid, you can store just about anything.
Old El Paso took the good things from the earth
and made them ornery.
Wild thing!
With vegetables you don't even taste in other picantes.
You make my heart sing.
A new picante with a wild zing.
You make everything.
Only Old El Paso makes picante this wild.
My wild thing.
Old El Paso's new thick and chunky picante.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Well, nobody expected the Saskatoon Blades to come within one game of the Memorial Cup, but they did, only to lose the 7th and deciding game to the Kamloops Blazers.